a lot of guys on the list that I thought fit into this category very well, and this afternoon it kind of dawned on me. The one guy that in his early days that I certainly thought would never be the phenom that he has become is the Undertaker. I can remember Mean Mark Callis wrestling actually as the Punisher in World Class Championship Wrestling. He wore a mask. Percy Pringle, who later became Paul Bearer, was his manager. And, you know, he was a big guy, but not overly impressive. And then when he went to WCW and teamed up with Danny Spivey as the Skyscrapers, again, you know, he was one of those big guys, but I never really thought that he would get very far. And then when he did sign with the WWE, and his introduction, which was 22 years ago next month, by the way, came out on a Survivor Series team with Ted DiBiase, managed by Brother Love at that point. You know, I thought it was just another gimmick. It was another character in the cavalcade of characters that the WWF was running at the time. This was, of course, the 1990, so it was the kind of the pinnacle of all those character gimmicky wrestlers. So I didn't think he'd go very far, but then in 91, a year later, he ends up winning the WWF title from Hulk Hogan, which, you know, again, I kind of thought, okay, this is a fluke, it's not going to go very far. He, of course, lost it back a few days later. But then really kind of became a legitimate contender, and then that streak started building, and then he won the world title again and actually had a reign with it, and then was in there with guys like Shawn Michaels and Bret Hart and Kurt Angle and The Rock and Stone Cold Steve Austin, and really became established. And while I'm not the biggest Undertaker fan, I definitely would say that he is one of wrestling's, but one of the WWF's top guys, obviously. But I'd say he's legitimate enough to say that he is one of wrestling's biggest stars. And, you know, props to him, who went from, like I said, a lowly jobber and world class to become, you know, one of the big guys, one of the big heavy hitters in the business. And, you know, I never thought that we would see him reach that kind of potential.